Hey, and welcome back to Chuck's Tuesday Tips. As promised, we're going to move over to the gun rack, or Deerfoot gun rack. My trusty sidekick JJ has to film today because our dummy here can't seem to get it right. So anyhow, we're going to start out with the Deerfoot here, and then this is the mannequin that we'll be using in another episode to mount the Deerfoot on. So basically, this is a pretty straightforward step. You know, a lot of people do is they'll take their hoof, they'll fold it like this, they'll tie it up till it dries, you know, and then that's really not the way you want to do it because it's just dry. What we're going to do, or attempt to do, is make a straight incision, and I said straight, not crooked like I just did, seeing if you were paying attention, all the way down so we can skin this off. Got a little dry right here because it's been in the freezer. You know, tell your customers they don't have to bring it to you like this with all these extra parts. They can just cut it nice and clean at the joint, you know. But, or if you're doing it yourself, save yourself the grief. And also store it, if you're not going to skin it right away and you are going to freeze it, put it in plastic so the edges don't dry like this. That way it will peel a lot easier. So we'll peel it down as far as we can before we start skinning with the knife. It's about as far as it's going to go. It's a little dried. So we have the dew claw here. Which we have to detach. We skin that to the joint. And normally you don't put any holes in it, but as you can see, I just put a hole in this because you could see how freezer burn it is right there, which made it dry, which is why I put a hole in it. But that's okay, we'll get to show you how to stitch up holes then. But ideally you do this without putting any holes. Let's see if we can. There we go. We're gaining on it. The real fun part's coming when we skin these joints out right here where the toes are, because you really need to do it right. You have to get all the way to the, oh, man, see how dry that is? That's not good. It's not going to make a difference in the finished product because it'll rehydrate in the tan, but it sure makes it a little tougher for me to skin out. And it was really supposed to make it tougher for JJ to skin out, but no, he gets to film. So now, as you can see, we're getting down to a knuckle. And I've never found a really good, easy way to do this. So I keep flipping it around and flopping it around, working it side to side to try to get down to the joint. Again, if it was not quite so dry, we'd have a quicker time. Oh, we're starting to make some progress now. There we go. Don't worry about if you rip this, because we need to cut that part out, the part in between the toes anyway. Later on, when we go to mount it on our mannequin. Okay, we're getting there. Now we go to what we call a digging. We're down to this joint. I'm gonna come in here, cut this tendon without cutting my finger off. Boy, that'd be a good tip, huh? Cut my finger off and sew it back on for you. And I get in trouble again. I'm always in trouble for something. Like I said, there's no easy way to do this. It's just a pain. Unless you guys out there have an easy way, I'd open for suggestions. Okay, this one side might go easier. What I was attempting to do there was twist it. Sometimes you can twist it when you get it cut enough. Boy, you haven't lived till you've done like an elk foot or a moose foot. I'd suggest not living like that. Oh, you hear that pop? That's a good pop. There we go, see? We're at the joint. We just gotta get it. You know, I really am a good taxidermist. Probably can't tell with the way these tips go, but strength of 1,000 chucks again. Well, it's just gonna fight me. It's because it's dry. Actually, it really is because it's dry. Not making that up. Now that we got one out, maybe you can go in there and see more what I was trying to do. What I'm trying to do is put my knife around inside this joint here and get it separated so that we can get the hoof off. Oh. Sorry. I was gonna impress you with my machismoism, my massive strength, but but that's okay, because look, it helped. Doesn't matter how we get there, as long as we get there. So all that struggling. Okay. There we go. We're not going to need to use all of this, of course. We only need to use this much. But we can't just go ahead and put this right up now. We're going to have to tan it first. You have three options. Option A is you could salt this down, dry it, send it to your tannery and have it commercially tanned. Option B, you could use some kind of fancier home tan or liquid slip or something like that. Or option C is you could do what we're going to do, which is make up a little tan that we use on our squirrels and small game, things like that. We call it the martini tan. Well, what it is it's half and half denatured alcohol and pure gum turpentine. We mix it 50-50. And we're going to soak this in here for like a couple days. You can leave it in a long time if you want. And it's really going to lock this hair in really good. Now, you never want to stir your martini can. You want it shaken, not stirred. Shake it up really good. Now we're going to put this in, and I'm going to leave it in 24 hours. After 24 hours, I'm going to pull it out and peel off any membrane or anything. Like if you were to put a squirrel in here, you had a little meat on it. After one day, you can peel the meat right off. And then we're going to put it back in for another day. Then we're going to take it out and wash it. And then we're going to go ahead and mount it up. I'm going to put another one in here later. So what we're going to do next week is actually make a pair of these. We're going to put them on a board and have a finished product right then. So once again, thanks for tuning in to Chuck's Tuesday Tips. We'll see you next Tuesday with the next tip.